going to save somebody. He said, you're my disciples if, okay? Henceforth, I call you not, he said, I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. And I want to be God's friend. For all things that I've heard of my Father, I've made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit. Okay, what does he want his disciples to do? Go produce some fruit. What on earth are you doing? What am I doing? Are we producing any fruit? And that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. I think God's already given us lots of things so we can bear fruit. How many of you have eyes that can see? Anybody got eyes that can see? How many have ears that can hear? You have the ability to think, maybe not too fast, but you can think, okay? You can speak, you can move. We have a freedom to openly share the gospel in this country. A lot of people don't have that. We can afford lights, water, food, gas, Bibles, tracts, churches. We don't even think about that stuff. You'd be surprised how much of the world does not have that. The disciples didn't have hardly any of that, okay? Instead of using what God has given us for his kingdom to produce fruit, like he wants us to do, we spend it on dumb things that will never matter in eternity. How much does it cost for this habit? What are you going to make? A cloud? And then what? I found out there's more to this than I thought. Smokers spend an average of $1.4 million in their lifetime. It's not just the cost of the cigarettes. That's how much they would have earned if they'd invested their money in stock market instead. Somebody did a study on that. Take that same money, put it in the stock market. 1.4 million. Woo. Imagine what they could have earned from the Lord if they invested it all in his kingdom. Smokers burn on an average of 1.4 million in personal cost for a year. Includes the cost of the cigarettes, the medical costs, the lower wages, etc. You start at 18, you go to 51. Average smoker dies at age 69. Okay. The cost of a gallon of water. 1 gallon of water, you can do all the math on this, it will cost about a penny for a gallon of water. 0.0008 cents an ounce. So I took pictures. Let's see. You thirsty? You want Pepsi? You want Aquafina? What do you want? Let's see. Pepsi is 12,500 times more than water to drink. So when you drink 12 ounces of Pepsi compared to 12 ounces of water, 12,500 times more. Wow. Let's see. Evian, water. You're buying water. 20,000 times more than tap water. 25,000 times more to drink this, what is this, Java Monster or something, okay? Let's see. I stopped it today at Captain D's. I got 2 fish sticks and the cracklins they give you for free. I said, instead of getting a tea, what's the cost of this tea? Well, there it is, the cost of the tea. Large tea, $3.19. Do the math. 16-ounce tea, $3.19. That's 25,000 times more than water. So I said, I'll take water. Guess what? I lived. Did you know you can have lunch with water? Oh, 25,000 times. You order hamburger, fries, and sweet tea, 31,000 times more than water. Let's see. Starbucks, Frappuccino, whatever that is, 36,000 times more than water. You really thirsty? The World Bank and World Health Organization, half the world lacks access to essential health services. How many of you, right now, if something happened, could be within a half hour of getting to a hospital? All of us. And we're in Lenox, Alabama. Most of the world doesn't have that. 100 million people are still pushed into extreme poverty because of health expenses. What percentage of the world owns a refrigerator? Only 17%. How many of you have access to a refrigerator? Okay, let's see. Toilet. New study said 6 out of 10 people on the earth do not have access to a flush toilet. 6 out of 10. How many of you have access to a flush toilet? Okay. 1 in 3 people globally do not have access to safe drinking water. How about electricity? Access to electricity. Those dark countries don't have access to electricity. Let's see, only 50%, 40%. What about shoes? Let's see. 300 million children around the world don't have shoes. Don't have shoes. How many of you have more than 1 pair of shoes? Come see my wife's closet, okay? A man going barefoot for a year for 300 million people who can't afford shoes. So that'll help, okay? There's more than enough food produced on the planet to feed everyone. 783 million people go hungry. Oh. How about 4 in 10 countries have official state religions? You got to be this. 10% of the 10 countries, 5% of the world, are hostile to any religion. North Korea, China, a lot of these countries. Do you have ready access to hospitals, doctors? How many of you sleep on a mattress? How many of you have a refrigerator or access to one? How about money in the bank, even if it's $5? I got 100, I think. An indoor bathroom, running water, electricity, cell phone, shoes, more than one pair, a roof over your head. How many of you have to worry about your next meal? Most of the world does. How many have freedom of religion? How many of you could go out to eat right now if you wanted to? Yeah. Bible says you lust and you have not. You kill and desire to have, but cannot obtain. You fight and war, yet you have not because you ask not. You ask and receive not because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. God provides things for us, and we consume it on our lusts. Some people, you give them $10, and instead of thinking ahead, they just go consume it on something they got to have right now. Did God provide for you and you consumed it on your lusts? Does he think he looks cool? Oh, brother. God gave you all you need to produce fruit for his kingdom, and you wasted it on dumb stuff. And you complain because you're broke and blame God. We've had several people here. We've had work here. We had some have to ask to leave. No matter what you do, they complain. Gripe, gripe, gripe. This is a castle in a vineyard. Pretty cool. In Isaiah 5, I will sing to my beloved the song of my well-beloved, a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. He fenced it, gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it. Also he made a winepress, and he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. He said, Judge, O men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more? What else could God have done to us here at this ministry to produce fruit for him? He said, I want you to produce fruit. He provided everything for us. Why don't we produce more fruit? It's been haunting me for several months here now. I know God's going to say, Kent, I gave you this much and you did this much. What happened in here? We're all going to be judged one day. What are you doing? What on earth are you doing? He said, go to now. I'll tell you what I'll do to my vineyard. I'll take away the hedge. It'll be eaten up. I'll break down the wall. It'll be trodden down. I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned nor digged. And there shall come up briars and thorns. And I will command the clouds that there no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel. The men of Judah is his pleasant plant. And he looketh for judgment, and behold oppression, for righteousness, and behold a cry. One of the saddest of all the words of pen, tongue and pen, the saddest are, it could have been. How many missionaries could have been sent out with the money we waste? How many libraries could have had creation DVDs or books or something? How many people could have given DVDs to their friends or neighbors or youth group or somebody with the money we waste? We produce a bunch of stuff here. We'd like to help, okay? But I just worry that we waste so much on dumb stuff. How many ministries like DAL could have been started in your state or your county or city? Anybody could start one. He said, you've not chosen me, but I chose you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. See, the Lord wants to prune off the stuff that's not producing fruit. What do you produce with your life? See, this is where a lot of people don't understand. They want to be able to eat and sleep and have air conditioning and all this kind of stuff, but they don't produce anything. You guys that work here have seen them come here. They come here, oh, wow, nice place. I'll just sit down and relax now for the next 5 years. They don't produce anything. What do you produce? Are you producing anything? What are you doing? Let's see. Average person sleeps 26 years of their life, tries to fall asleep for 7 years. Time at work, only 13 years. Watching TV, 8 years, 4 months. Social media, 3 years. Eating, 4 years, 6 months eating. Neil Armstrong said, I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine. I like that attitude. Use your time wisely, okay? What have I done with my life? I thought to myself, what have I done with my life? Are you producing anything? The vine dresser is always looking for ways to get their grapevines to produce more. During the dormant season, they prune off the non-producers and suckers, and they prune back the producers. What are you doing? Man, I want to produce fruit. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't care. Okay, go chase Zelda, whatever you do. These things I command you, that you love one another. I had a wild idea at 3 o'clock this morning, right? Pizza with peanut butter on it, you know. One of you needs to write a book or do a video called, Hey, Bud. You could be a mature grapevine talking to a brand new bud coming up. You're going to give advice. Book idea. Older grapevine talking to a young bud. Hey, bud, want to know how to live long and produce much fruit? Yes, please tell me. I want to be like you when I grow up. The life cycle of a vine. The bud comes forth first. Bud burst is the first step. Bud comes out of the ground, breaks open. Then you go into the early shoot and leaf growth. Then you go to the flowering and fruit set. So let's talk to the bud. He's first coming out. Hey, bud, you want to know how to live long and produce fruit? Oh, please tell me. I want to be like you. Somebody could write a book like this for children. The grape talking to the new bud. Hey, bud. First, bud, send your roots down deep. If you hit hard ground and other problems, go around them. Don't quit because it's hard. Then follow the light as you grow up. Keep reaching for the light. That'd be good advice for a bud, wouldn't it? Okay. Don't get mad at the vine dresser when he cuts off things that aren't producing. He knows what's best. He'll probably cut off the video games since they waste your time. Then don't put too much energy into producing leaves for show. Make just enough leaves to gather the light to make the fruit. Some people are so worried about their looks and how much have you spent on trying to change your looks? Makeup, hairspray, jewelry, clothing. Are you producing fruit? No, but I look good. Okay. Don't listen to what other young buds tell you. I've been producing for the master for 200 years now. I know it pleases him. All those young buds growing up around you only want to make leaves for show, so others look at them. With no fruit, the master will soon cut them off. I thought that'd be a good book idea. I wish people would get a glimpse. I'm going to read this whole series someday. The why on earth did God let this happen? Because while I was in prison, I wrote hundreds, maybe even several thousand stories, little short stories. I would read a passage in the Bible and say, oh, I want to write to that guy. So I invented a new app called Nemail. See, with email, you can only talk to people that are alive on earth. But with Nemail, on your knees, you can talk to people in the past or future or anywhere in the world. Yeah, I'd go back and talk to the early Kent Hovind at 16 years of age. We'd have a conversation back and forth. I'm going to read this whole series one of these days and put it on audio. Well, I guess it would be video and audio. Produce a series. Yeah. Okay. What are you doing? Is there anything in you that says, man, I want to produce some fruit for the Lord? You're too busy making leaves? It's up to you. So these first verses in John 15, 12 through 17, he said, I want you to love each other, and I want you to produce fruit. Okay. Well, folks, you missed it. We're done. We started at 7, but glad you're here. Where are you guys from again?
I'm from Florida.
And you all took the tour today. How did you kids like the tour? Huh? Anybody want to come become world famous, get on TV, and get up here and tell how you like their tour here? No? Okay. You do? Come on. Get them on up here. Tell them who you are. Be world famous. Okay, take this slide down. Let's see. Why don't you get on this side over here? Where'd you go? Come on this side over here. Come on this side over here. There we go. Okay. Now, what's your name?
Jewels.
What?
Jewels.
How do you spell that?
J-U-E-L-C.
Look at that camera up there. And how old are you, Jewels?
I'm 9.
9. And how old are you going to be when you're almost 11?
10.
10. And how old were you when you were born?
0.
Okay. And how much do they pay you to be good?
0.
So you're 9 and you're good for nothing, right?
Yep.
Okay. And how did you like the tour today?
It was good.
And did you go down the zip lines?
Yep.
You did?
Mhm.
Did you jump off the tower?
Mm-hmm.
Did you climb the new climbing tower? The
The
rock
one-
the wall, the rock wall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what else did you do around here? What did you like? What's your favorite thing?
I don't know.
You recommend other people come?
Yes.
Okay. Good. And did your wife come?
No.
Wow, I'm so sorry. Bring her next time, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Amen. Glad you came. We have visitors come from all over the place. I believe I got the right count. 77 countries now they've come from. So we just want to help draw people closer to the Lord. Come visit Dinosaur Adventure Land. That's it. Any questions or comments there, brother? Joseph, I try to do a Q&A at the end of every session. Sometimes there's not time, obstacles in the way, but yes, you have a question, send it, okay? You just did one. Go ahead, yeah, answer is yes. Nearest hospital to DAL, we have one in Bruton, 18 miles south. We have one in Monroeville, 17 miles, slightly west, northwest. Is there one in Evergreen? There's not a hospital, is there? Evergreen's a little closer than the other two. I think it's 16, 17, 18 miles away. But yes, we do have one, okay? Is the ark you're building going to have anything inside? It's going to be actual size. No, it's not going to be actual size. You kidding? Model, scale model, probably 25 feet long. Don't know yet. But yes, I want to have where you can look in the window and see the inside of the ark, but it'll be all miniature scale. Just waiting on a bunch of money to do that. Okay, that's good. We got the dirt already leveled out, so we're ready to build. Yay, that's the easy part. Any more questions? Ken, have you thought about a Garden of Eden with fruit trees and well-maintained garden? Brother, I would love to do that. We have some fruit trees growing. We kind of stuck them in the ground, said, hey, you're on your own. See you later. So we need somebody to manage all that stuff. Yeah, my wife tries to do that and manage the landscaping here and all the food for all the people here that live here and the secretarial stuff. She's overrun with stuff. So that's it. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow. Whack an Atheist tomorrow night.